in that regard, though, what does it look like to hold sexual integrity? Because we've all acknowledged there are things that we'd say this is outside the bounds of what God created us for. This is unholy as a behavior. And yet we see a culture that has maybe just adopted or embraced those as that's just normal life. Hookup culture, the use of pornography and masturbation, casual relationships, people that say things like friends with benefits, or it's
Right.
just physical. We don't even really have a relationship. Instant gratification is the name of the game in so many things we do. What does it look like to hold sexual integrity amidst all that?
My brain, just to continue the conversation that we're just having regarding like what are we consuming, I think what we consume, again, whether that's food or even from the sense of this cultural input towards our sexuality, is really important. I mean, my recovery journey has been marked by the removal of a lot of things. And sometimes we joke, when Jesus said, it'd be better to cut off your hand to make it into the kingdom of heaven. It's like, wait, did he mean like iPhone, like pluck out your iPhone? Like, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of a funny thing. But I'm like, that's actually been some of my lived experience. Like, I think I have one of the smartest dumb phones. Like, I haven't had an internet browser for over 2+ years. And now some people are like, well, are you really healed? Or are you really free if you can't look in the face of temptation and say no? I'm like, well, I'm also doing the heart work. This is holistic. It's not just removing behaviors at my hand level. It is about thoughts and feelings at a head level and core beliefs at a heart level. And it is the reworking of all of those things that is the pathway of health. But at the same time, I'm like, would we ever tell an alcoholic, unless you can go to a bar and sit in front of that, glass of wine or that beer, you're not actually sober? It's like, no, an alcoholic isn't going to be going into a bar. Like, that's just a part of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's wisdom. That's not fear. And so for me, mismanagement of my sexuality with an internet browser on my phone had become a part of my story. So I no longer have that. And it has led to so much life and freedom. Like, I hope somebody hears this saying like, no, it actually wasn't worse. Like, actually, I'm thriving in ways I never knew possible. Like, I'm not as distracted. I'm not as my phone as much. Or let's talk about social media. Like, I had all of them. I don't know how at some point our cultural narrative was you need to have 5 social media platforms. That's crazy. But like, I couldn't have Snapchat anymore. That had become a place of powerless in my story. These conversations that were disappearing were not helping my integrity and were harming others. So I removed Snapchat. I couldn't have Twitter because of the pornographic content that was so easily accessible. So I removed Twitter. I removed Instagram. I removed Facebook. And now the only social media I have is LinkedIn, which I don't even know if people are considering that social media. It feels much more workplace oriented. But
Which
just to say,
you're seeing that as a healthy use.
a healthy use. And just to say, what we're consuming matters. So how do we live with sexual integrity amidst this culture? I think we take radical steps to pursue Jesus. We inhabit the wilderness. It feels like the wilderness, right? Because not everybody's living like this. We live like prophets, and then we invite people to join us.